You are not always going to feel like building your business. There are going to be days where you just don't want to do it. There's going to be moody days. You're going to feel depressed sometimes, and that's okay. It's not an excuse, but it's okay. And many times those are gifts given to you because they're kind of warning signs that things need to change. And I'll talk more about that on this video. And the backdrop right now is actually perfect because it's raining. I just dropped my son off at gymnastics here, and I said this is the perfect time to cut this video. But also, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell. I hope these videos are helpful to you because you doing that really does help me out a lot. Okay, for those of you in a home-based business, let's talk about this. We have this concept, and the reason I say home-based business is because millions and millions and millions of people have decided to do that as of late, and specifically those people in a home-based business like a direct sales company, etc. Everything is done from the house, from the computer, and the dynamics are very different. The psychology is very, very different. When you go to a job, you get in the car, deal with traffic, there's all of this protocol that surrounds you, that keeps you in tow, that keeps you on task. And even if you don't feel like it, you find yourself just doing what it takes, otherwise you don't keep your job. As soon as you shift over into a home-based model or working for yourself, you have to motivate yourself. The psychology is completely different. How you feel is how you operate, how you know, and it shouldn't be the case, but we all do it. I do it. There are days I don't even want to talk about anything. There are days where I just need a break and I say, hey honey, you and the kids come on, let's go dreaming today. On days like that, I like to go house looking. I like to look at really amazing houses, way beyond even our ability to get it. Because, you know, it's all relative. When you're here, you feel like you can never get that one. When you're here, you feel like you can never get that one. So I really like to stretch the boundaries, looking at houses, dreaming, talking about how we would decorate them, etc. And it just completely gets my mind off of business, and it puts me into dream mode. When you can go into dream mode, when you can go into the mode of thinking beyond your circumstances, and all of those creative juices start to flow because of that dreaming dynamic, you kind of awaken. It changes the chemistry. It changes how you operate that day. And it's you can kind of go, okay, I just rebooted myself. Now I'm ready to work. And so when you felt like tar had been poured all over you, and you were exhausted, and you didn't feel like doing it the day before, after you take those little breaks, like for us, going house looking, we love it, suddenly it's this beautiful reboot, and now you feel like doing it. And it's the same thing that you didn't feel like doing, and now suddenly you do. And for you, it's all, you know, everybody has something different they like to do. Some people just take, they like to go on a run, they like to go biking, or we love to look at homes. It's a blast. Everybody piles in, we go get ice cream, and we talk about all the things that we would do in the house and what we like and what we don't like. And it's just really fun to explore, because anything that creates familiarity, any surrounding where you're familiar, you got to change it up. Routine is good. Familiarity that creates numbness is bad. You may have heard it said, the best thing sometimes you can do is just rearrange the furniture in the house. You understand my point? Rearrange the furniture in the house, and suddenly it all feels new again, and the house feels different, and it's broken up that monotony. So what I don't want you to do is to feel like something's wrong with you when you're having a bad day, when you don't feel like building your business, when you don't want to call anybody, when you don't want to follow up. The next bonus, the pay bump, whatever the incentive is, sometimes it's not enough. It's just not. You wish it were. Sometimes listening to a motivational tape, or I say tape, isn't that funny? A motivational video sometimes agitates. There are times, you know, people sometimes feel like they have to constantly listen to motivational stuff. I gotta stay motivated. I gotta stay motivated. If you watch any athlete, of course, the coach, the culture, the team spirit, everything is about constant motivation. But sometimes there just needs to be quiet, and there needs to be breaks. And if you hit that wall, okay, well, I don't feel like it now, I need to go get motivated. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you just need to turn it all off. Don't mean to be repetitive, but this is critical, because if you're going to see success in your business, which is probably the reason you joined it, I'm guessing you did not decide to work from home in the capacity that you do. Again, whether it's satellite from your company, you're in a home-based business specifically, you've joined a direct sales network marketing company, etc. If that is what you're doing and the objective is to be successful, then you need to have grace upon yourself. Because when you hit the wall, when you have to motivate yourself, when you have to rearrange the furniture, when you have to take the house driving breaks, when you have to go take a bike run or go exercise or just blow off steam, don't feel like, oh, if I do that, I'm wasting time. I guess my point is, I have to stay motivated, stay productive, stay productive. And what we do is we forget that that's not even healthy. There are times, think about the parable of the sower, talk about farming, talk about, this is a key here. There's a time to sow, plant the seed. There's a time to water, cultivate, get the weeds out, etc. There's a time to harvest, and there's a time to let the ground rest. I'm not saying sit on your hands. I'm not saying use anytime you have a tweak in your mind, because we have a society now that anytime they're put off or uncomfortable, oh, I'm a victim, and everybody wants to shut down. We're not saying that. I'm saying there are times where you just have to take that break. Give the field a rest. Does that make sense? There are times I just go, I say, honey, I'm out. And she'll go, what are you going to, oh, I said, I'm going to go get in the tub. I'm going to get some Epsom salts, the kind that smell like, was it lavender? Love that. Just pour them in the bath. And I used to feel like I had to watch motivational videos. So I would have this this stand in our tub, right? It's like a table that goes across it and has a place you could prop your book and put your drink and all your stuff. And I used to make sure I had my phone or my iPad there, and I would just relax. But during my relaxing, quote unquote, I would use that time to watch videos. No. Now I quit doing that. I don't even read now. Now I get in there and I let my body physically relax. I let the muscles relax and I cool it. And sometimes you just fall asleep. So good. And you just shut down, and sometimes a 10, 15, 30, 45-minute break. You come out of there, you're back on track. So what I'm trying to tell you on this video is, if you're not motivated all the time, that's okay. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to reboot. If success is the end game, which it should be for all of us, otherwise you're wasting your time, in my opinion. And I'm specifically right now talking to those of you that have joined a home-based business, specifically more direct sales network marketing. If the goal is to create financial freedom for your families, 20 years ago you were a nut job if you did this model. Now you're a nut job if you're not. It's just traditional business was threatened by the empowering of the little person. That's always been the game. The establishment is always threatened when the little people are empowered. When you decentralize the power. And it's a big word right now, decentralization. When you decentralize the power. And, this industry is brilliant. But most people burn out. Most people can't handle the heat. Most people can't deal with the psychology between the ears. They haven't learned to hit it in bursts, turn it off, take a break. Hit it in bursts, turn off, take a break. Heck, you guys may know this. I turned 50 in August, right? Well, I reinvented myself this year. Last August, when I turned 50, I said everything in my life is going to change. All of it. I'm going to reevaluate what I want, what I'm doing, what do we want as a family, and even in this trek of creating success and legacy for our kids and creating something where we can leave an inheritance and all these beautiful things, I had to give myself the grace to reinvent myself, because many times if you keep doing the same thing at the same pace, what does a company do? They look in, sometimes they restructure a company. It's very healthy. I suggest you restructure your life. My whole video right now is about it's okay to restructure. It's okay. Sometimes you have to back up and punt. Sometimes you have to punt. And it just changes sometimes the psychology of the game when you do that. And I just want to encourage you, because as of late, I get a lot of calls from I get a lot of calls all the time from a lot of people. But as of late, the subject has been, basically paraphrased, I don't feel that it's okay. Here it is. What's wrong with me? I don't feel motivated. And you guys know this. I did a video a while back. All right, go in my YouTube channel, look through it, scroll through it. You'll see me in a green Mercedes GTR sports car, right? And it says thoughts, or whatever I said, thoughts from my GTR. And I talk about in that video very specifically this whole idea of you can't wait for the feelings to be motivated. You have to be motivated and then the feelings come. You have to do the actions and then the feelings come. You can't wait for the feelings before you act. It's a tremendous trap. It's unbelievably deceptive. And there are people that are constantly waiting for the feelings as though the feelings are the indicator, when you have to do the actions, or the lack thereof, by resting, to recalibrate, regroup, reboot, right? But you have to do the actions in order to have the feelings. And then suddenly, the want to is back. The want to is there. We have a great quote, say it all the time, use it all the time. It's hard. It's just hard. Until it's not. And sometimes you just have to understand that. Anything worth it is going to be difficult because you're breaking the status quo. You're breaking the paradigm shift. You're shifting the game. You're shifting what your friends think about you. You're shifting what your family thinks about you. You're shifting about what you think about yourself. You've hit these emotional and you've hit these ceilings. There's certain limit points that all of us have when it comes to income, self-worth, how we see ourselves, our future, etc. And when we hit those ceilings, you can hit those ceilings and suddenly you feel like everything you've done is a lie, or everything you've done was worthless, or what point does it make? And I mean, that is why I encourage people, folks, you're gonna have to just be okay. You know, the people that make the most money in a home-based business are the ones that can manage the up and down emotions, because it's gonna be like this. If anybody tells you it's like this all the time, it's not true. Maybe their YouTube face is like this. Maybe on social media they're like this. But the people that make the most money are the ones that manage the emotional roller coaster. That's why I create these videos for you guys. I want to help you disarm the traps that constantly get in the way and hold you back from success. Sometimes I'm very specific about a video, and other times I'm just kind of all over it. And people understand kind of the spirit of what I'm saying, rather than do X, do Y, do... No. I just want you to extend grace upon yourself. I don't want you to snare yourself. I want you to be okay with taking breaks. It's okay if you don't feel good, or if you're having a tough time. Just don't let it be your identity. Because what happens is a year later, you're still waiting for the feelings. A year later, you're still... It's almost like you're destroying your adrenaline is burnt out because you're trying to live in this high all the time. You ever seen athletes playing at the top of their game? What do? Sometimes they just don't get on the field. Sometimes they do not get in the weight room. Sometimes they take a nice long break to fix the muscles or the broken bone, or to recoup. You're not crazy. You're not. Because you want to be, when you do attack and you do hit it, you do want the want to be there. You do want the mindset clear. You don't want to be hating every word that you're saying while you're talking to somebody, and they're feeling the spirit of that, and then you wonder why your business isn't growing. It's because they're like, I don't know what this guy's saying, but it is not coming out of him honestly, that's for sure. And people resist that because they sense it, they feel it. So if you're gonna play in the game, I want you to be at your best when you're on the field. When you're off the field, if you need to go through the motions, detox, and just shake it off. But when you get on the field, you want to play like a champion. And then have those moments where you recalibrate off the field. That's how you win. Again, top earners in home-based businesses and people that work for themselves are those that can manage the ups and downs of their emotions. All right, I said the same thing about 10 different ways. Y'all are a blessing. I will see you on the next video. Okay, bye.